Hello everyone, and welcome to Truly Bedrock Season 4, Episode 5. How's everybody doing? I'm doing great, and we did that in one take. As the episodes progress, I imagine that it's going to get easier and easier to say Season 4 as opposed to Season 3. But anyway, in the last episode, we did end things with trying to build a bone meal farm that, though it is a great little farm and a little tutorial that we went through, it just wasn't what we needed to produce for some bone meal. We also went over and visited Tom and gave him some quartz, and then we did put some mushrooms in Silent Whisperer's potato field, which I think it's still there. Let's see. Very good, very good. The mushrooms are still there. And there's a new build. Yes, so that was kind of all the things that we did in the last episode. And we have some builds popping up over here that we will talk about at another time. Basically, this is going to be a build area just on the other side of our base here. And what I do need to do is I need to mark out these outbuildings that we talked about. Because we are going to have an outbuilding kind of right here and then on the other side as well. But all in due time, there's so many things that I need to do and get going. One thing that we did in between episodes here is we did start growing a little bit of bamboo. I think having some scaffold for getting up here is going to be a very, very nice thing. Speaking of the roof, it was actually suggested in a couple videos ago by Oz that we should make the roof out of copper. I think that's a great idea. I really do. And I've actually been mining a bunch of copper. I have almost 9 stacks of blocks here. But I do have a question for you folks. And that question is, should we use the regular blocks of copper or should we use this cut copper? Would this look better? Because obviously we can get 4 times as much as we have here. We're going to need quite a bit for the roof here. This would look pretty good, I think. I think this would look good. As opposed to the copper, but I do love the copper block. I do love this texture. So you guys tell me what you think. This one or this one. And part of my plan is we are going to have some of this that is this color, the orange, non-oxidized. We're going to have some that is like partially oxidized and some that's fully oxidized. And we could do many, many different things, but I was thinking maybe this side be the oxidized and then kind of blend over into the non-oxidized, which means our little nest here is going to need some TLC, right? We're going to need to build some more beehives, and put these honeycombs to work and make an automated farm and all of those things. But as you guys would have noticed in the last clip, we're down some armor, right? We don't have a chest plate, we don't have leggings, we lost all of this whilst wandering around mining. Our helmet is about gone, and our boots here, we're going to need to add some mending to them. And I do want to keep a set of leather boots and get them all mended up. But I have made the diamond equivalent of all of our armor. I have the netherite to change it. And I have all of the different books to start getting these things. Geez. It's early in the morning. I'm very, very tired. To get all these things enchanted to have some really good armor. So mending. Let's see. Unbreaking is 4. Yeah. I don't remember how to do the thing. 0. And not too long later, we now have ourselves a nice, beautiful netherite set of armor. And we did name these things, you guys would have seen that. Helm of the Ghast, chestplate of the Piglin, leggings of the Strider, and boots of the Magma Cube. I thought those would be some neat names for our armor pieces, and I tell you what, it's kind of a bittersweet thing starting a new world, especially with new things in it. It's fun to go exploring and find all of these things, but not having things like Depth Strider and Respiration on armor pieces, ugh, I do miss it, but we have armor now. One little thing I believe that I forgot to mention in kind of the first clip is this guy right here, the AFK Fish Farm. We were talking in the Discord, and Silent actually said that he should start charging a tax for all the people using his AFK Fish Farm design. I know Tiz and I are using it. I'm sure there's a few others. That's why he made that joke. But one thing that he did ask was, and all joking aside, he asked if we're not going to utilize the cod and stuff out of this farm, if he could have it for his smelter, which I've actually set up this chest right here that has a bunch of raw cod and raw salmon in it. It did have a sign saying for Silent, but we had a boom. And yes, this is for Silent. This is for Mr. Tiz Tom. Just collecting things like that for these individuals to help them out. Now, we dug out a little bit of an area down below our base for what I want to work on in the next little part of today's episode. I want to build a bone meal farm, something to get a passive income of bone meal. And I did build a farm down here from Silent Whisper, the Crimson Nylium farm, but it does not work. They've nerfed Crimson Nylium and how much it produces when you bone meal and shift it and all that. It used to be you got a huge return for investing a little bit of bone meal, but now it's about 6 stacks of bone meal per 9. So I've got all this stuff in here that was from that farm, and what we're going to do is instead we are going to build a traditional farm, Kelp Farm. And I built one of these back in Season 1, and I think it's going to work out rather well for us. We got a little bit of kelp here, and what we're going to do is we're going to probably plant that on this block. We're going to have... I'm sorry, I messed up this layout, didn't I? We need to have our kelp. We need to have a... Let's redo this. This was just a quick... I was in a rush. So we want to have observer and piston, but we're going to want to have our kelp on that block there, which is going to be an observer and a piston, putting our kelp on this block here. Very good. So what I'm going to end up doing is probably digging this line up and placing in some deep slate. Because you guys know this is a gorgeous block. So we're going to place that in here. We're going to have deep slate behind here as well. And then standing on top of that, after I place a torch back in so we can see what is going on, I'm going to have a line of pistons. And I've made enough to do this side as well as the side on this side over here. So we're going to have a kelp farm here. We're going to have a kelp farm over in here as well. That is going to bury this chest, but that's fine. I will probably take and just move the items over to here so we don't have to worry about it. We are going to need to get more deep slate to place all of this in. Now, the next thing that we're going to need to do is we're going to need to get back in here, and we're going to need to place in observers like that. Which means I should probably place down a little bit of a temporary block in here. Cobblestone will work. Behind the deep slate here, so that we can come in and place observers like so. Then what we're going to have is we're going to have another line of blocks here with redstone dust on the top of it. This way, anytime a piece of kelp will grow, it will then hit this piston, or this observer, this piston will extend and it will push the kelp out. After that, we're going to have some probably light gray stained glass right here going all the way up to this level here. And we're going to have a water source that comes over and hits a hopper line for this side as well as this side, producing bone meal. We'll probably have the bone meal come around and be made right in this area somewhere, and then we can utilize that bone meal for a variety of things. So let me grab some more deep slate and stuff and get building on this farm. Hopefully we've got something. I don't have any more shroom lights, and I don't have anything like glowstone. So we got one half of the kelp farm completed. We have 2 layers. We have a layer up there that's pushing, or a water stream up there that's pushing all the things into the hoppers here. That is coming down into here, and it is being bone mealed, which is really, really nice. Now, I do want to take this composter out for just a moment. The reason for that is that I want to collect some of this kelp. We don't actually have enough kelp to do this side over here. I got 37, which isn't quite enough. I believe this is 13 or 17, 34. Actually, I probably got enough. Nonetheless, I want to collect a little bit more kelp before we build this second side. So this isn't a very fast farm, but it is going to collect us bone meal as we sit here in the base, right? That is the whole purpose here that we want, is to collect a bunch more of this stuff. I'm going to throw this in this chest for now. We'll probably turn one of these sides passively into a bone meal maker with like a sugarcane deal, so we can collect sugarcane from kelp. I'm not going to use kelp for smelting it into a smoker and dried kelp and all of that when we have dripstone and the availability of making lava for smelting. So I'm going to go ahead and take the other bits of pistons and redstone and all of the things that we need, and I am going to go through and build this next section. Now, one little thing to note here is I waterlogged these pistons here, and then I have a water source in that corner and a water source in that corner. The reason I have to do that is if you have flowing water, your items will not go up. So you got to make sure that all of this is water source blocks, which it is. It was a little difficult to build this guy up here and then put water sources in after, but it is working as intended. So once we do this section, I've got another little plan for most likely these back 2 sections here. This is where we're going to convert into bone meal. We're going to have that convert into a sugarcane farm, and we can put other things in there as needed and utilize this bone meal for any and all other activities that we decide. But let's get to building. Well, we have the second half of the Kelp Farm complete, and we have the composting setup all done. This does not produce a lot of bone meal. I had about 4.5 stacks in here. I've been AFK for a little while, long enough to smelt some stuff, which you would have potentially seen either in the last clip or the next clip, where I'm just smelting a bunch of stuff. This side's doing pretty good. And we could honestly step this down more if we wanted to, and we could just have a path over to our chests here. But it's nice, we have an income of bone meal nonetheless. And we still have some extra bones as well. Now, I was going to bring and start work on the bees, which, as you guys can see, we have gotten a third beehive. And I think I got about 8 bees here, 7, something like that. But there's a lot of work that needs to be done here. I want to switch them over to the beehives instead of the nests that are these guys. I want to actually farm them. I want to automate the whole thing, utilizing some shears and stuff like that so that we can collect honeycomb. We're starting on our dome of the base, which I want to get to very soon. So there's quite a bit of work that needs to go in there, placing down flowers and different redstone bits and bobs. Geez, what chest is it? There it is. And I mean, we have a good amount here as well. But I have been busy because I built a farm down here. We got rid of that farm because it didn't work because of my lack of testing in creative, which I know better than to do that. Oh, and if you guys didn't see, we did do a live stream for the Truly Bedrock live stream weekend, and JC made me a skin for that. I am Christmas pudding. So we're still rocking the old Christmas thing. Yep. So we built the farm, like I said. Then we had a live stream where we built that little cozy cabin right there, which I think this thing is quite quaint, I guess is the proper terminology. This thing looks neat. You know, we got a little front door. We've got some different things going on, of course. Got a little bit of vine action that we need to get rid of. I have a little loft here with the bed and a smoker and a lantern and some decoration. I hardly ever use clay pots. Hid some crafting tables behind the little seat that you can sit down in front of the fire. And we got a little elf on a shelf. Yeah, so we built that in a live stream. We've done the farm. And we've done a couple other things. One of those things that you would have seen us do, or you would have seen me pop my hands into this chest, is I've done a lot of mining. I've got copper, got quite a bit of diamonds. I've got a bunch of emerald ore that I found. Pretty neat. But more importantly, I have 2 stacks of blocks of coal and 2 stacks of blocks of iron. And there is a very important reason that we have these specific items. I want to gather them up. And as you would have seen, I also have bought 2 more shulker boxes, and I have some crafting table mini blocks. What could those be for? I wonder. We got our lead. Let's take these with us, and let's jump on the old pony. Which I have a new one. This one's a tad bit faster than the last guy. Oh, and somebody's building a bridge. Very, very nice. What I want to do is I want to head over this way. I like this. This is going to be nice. Oh. We need to do more with our little food fight, too. Let's come on up here, though. And we'll get off our horse. Tether you up there just so you don't get lost. And I think where we need to head is over in this direction. Yes, this is where we're headed. Let's see if we can find where to go. It's just stairs. Aha, aha. So there have been some chats in Discord between me and Jesse B. And I wanted an Elytra. I know that I said we're going to do things horseback for a while and so on and so forth, but going to places like the Mushroom Island, going over to the Dark Forest biome, which was just over here to get items and stuff. It took forever. It took forever to get over there. It takes forever to get back. And so I had a chat with the old Jesse B. And basically, she was willing to part with an Elytra. Asked her what she wanted. She said a few stacks of iron and a few stacks of coal would suffice. I know that typically a few is 3, but I went ahead and mined tons and tons and tons of blocks. This is mined. This is not bought. I mined all of this. I smelted this. This is all with my bare hands. Well, and a pickaxe. So with that little bit of a gift delivered, I want to go over here to our little chest pile where people are selling some items, and I probably should grab myself a mending book if there are any for sale. So we have gunpowder for sale, which is good. Getting a little bit of that won't be bad. We have iron, but it's been out of stock for a little while. There's sand. Somebody's selling some wither stuff. There's blaze stuff. It's 1 diamond as stacked. Neat. There's magma cream. This right here, I bought 2 of these shulker boxes. I know who's selling these. This is the same individual that sold this shulker box for 16 diamonds. Oh, nice. There's some different heads being sold, and then we have these couple of shops with a horse. Neat. Ah, here we go. So mending, I believe I should probably just grab an unbreaking book just in case. And what else do I want? We probably want to get the books that we're going to need for an axe, right? Because I'm going to do some mining in the old nether and trying to get some more stuff. Mending. What I don't see is like efficiency. Well, that's alright. I wanted to make an axe, but hey, it's no big deal. So we can take this bad boy back to the old base area and finally get ourselves some wings. And like I said, if we're going to do big, long journeys, we will just pop some rockets and fly away. But if we're going to do stuff like here in Spawn, We're heading back and forth. I do need to plan. There's quite a few things that I'm planning. One of which, can't wait till this is done. I'm probably spoiling something, and I do apologize, but seriously, there is, and this is, I'm getting off track here, but this is going to be nice. Hooking up a path to our base. But yes, I have plans to finish work on the base. There's a lot of things that need to go on there, and I need to plan something here. All in due time. But for now, we can park the old horse. Which I didn't show this, I don't think. I have a mule. I have a donkey. We got all the things. We will take the Elytra and we will put mending. And we will put unbreaking. And I have, let's see. Didn't I do something with that already? Long Sword of the Wither, Wings of the Wither. Oh, I don't have 5 levels. Excuse me. That's okay, we can get 5 levels. We can get a lot of levels. Nice. We'll go ahead and let that smelt up, and... hold on. Helm of the Ghast. Strider, Magma Cube, Piglin. I should have changed the name of that and called these the Wings of the Ghast because we had the Long Sword of the Wither. No. I guess we'll just call them that. This way we're leaving all the things. Oh, darn it. It's fine. It's fine. So I have on my own a little bit of gunpowder, and I can now set up a little quick sugarcane farm with one section of this. I can set up a sugarcane deal in the middle here, and that will work out pretty nice. But, unfortunately, we are running out of time for today's episode. This thing has taken far longer than I wanted to. This will hopefully go up today, which is Tuesday. But it should have went up 2 days ago. That's what happens when you don't plan things out and you build a huge farm inside of an area that just doesn't work. And I had to delete all of those clips and re-record and then reset up some things. And yeah, it's how things happen. So I didn't get to setting up the bees. I didn't get to setting up the sugarcane farm. So that's what we're going to do, hopefully in the next episode. But this one is done for now. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You guys know the routine. If you did, please leave a like, leave a comment. Consider subscribing if you're new to the channel. Check the description down below for all the different ways to follow me, including a link to Twitter, Twitch, my Discord, Truly Bedrock Discord, Truly Bedrock website. There's also a link to all the other Truly Bedrock members' YouTube channels. Go check them out if you haven't. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.